Howdy folks, welcome back. Episode 70 opens with a recap of the endings of episodes 68 and 69. We then see Kankuro, Gaara, and Temari, with Sasuke hot on their trail. I couldn't help but pause the episode to see if the characters were in the correct sequence from Sasuke's point of view, and sure enough, they aren't. The great blob shows the bigger blob in front, which is Gaara and Kankuro, with the smaller blob, aka Temari, trailing behind. A few seconds later, we see the exact opposite. Sure, Temari could have just jumped ahead, but that wouldn't make sense since from a strategical standpoint, Gaara now has one less layer of defense. After Naruto and Shikamaru are filled in on the current situation, this awkward transition happens.
It can't be helped, okay? It's Kakashi-sensei's order!
See what I mean? The three are clearly right next to each other when Sakura begins talking. In the middle of her sentence, the three suddenly have a huge gap between them. The gap between them seems to be more canon since Naruto remains in the lead for the subsequent scenes. Kind of a weird design choice if you ask me though. The shot of the 8 sound ninja on the rooftop is an interesting one to me. Yeah, you heard me correctly. 8. Later on, Pakun says,
"There are 2 squads behind us. That's 8 ninja. Wait. No, there's one more. That's 9 ninja following us."
But if there were 9 ninja, why the hell wasn't he on the rooftop? There's no reason for him to be trailing behind already. I think the only reason why he wasn't shown on the rooftop is to add a layer of suspense to Shikamaru's confrontation. Since we only saw the 8 ninja on the rooftop, the logical conclusion would be there are only 8 enemy ninja pursuing Team Pakun. Following that logic, when Shikamaru ensnares the 8 ninja with his shadow possession jutsu, we the audience would think, okay, all Shikamaru has to do is stall. Or if he can grab a kunai or shuriken without the enemy ninja grabbing them as well, he can take some of them out, which is exactly what Shikamaru attempts to do. We then see that Pakun was correct. The 9th ninja he sends trailing behind was in fact a sound ninja. I'll touch on that more when we get there though. After Pakun informs the trio that 9 enemy ninja are following them, Naruto just about craps his pants. Shikamaru remains composed and Sakura, well, we don't know how Sakura reacts because she doesn't get any screen time. This whole scene is bad in my opinion. While Shikamaru's characterization is correct, Naruto's characterization seems off. Sakura doesn't get any screen time, so hers is automatically off as well. Naruto initially being shocked is fine, but him going, "What?" and remaining shocked for the remainder of Shikamaru's dialogue makes Naruto seem too afraid. The reason I say that is, after Shikamaru finishes his dialogue, we are shown the 8 sound ninja tracking Team Pakun. We then cut back to Team Pakun landing on the ground to stage footprints in order to buy them a little extra time. Once again, we're being ping-ponged back to the 8 sound ninja figuring out Team Pakun's ploy before continuing to pursue them. It is then when the anime and manga finally resync and we get the quote-unquote real Naruto back. Instead of Naruto freezing like he did in the Land of Waves arc, Naruto says,
"Listen guys, we don't have much choice. We're gonna have to ambush them."
This is a completely different Naruto than the one that went.
What?
This is how Naruto should be. In fact, this is how Naruto was in the manga. In the manga, the moment the sound ninja leap off the rooftop, Pakun detects them and is visually startled. He then tells the trio to pick up the pace. Sakura asks why, to which Pakun replies, "There are 2 squads. That means 8 shinobi. Actually, plus 1 more. 9 shinobi on our tails." We then see Naruto and Shikamaru are distraught. You may be thinking, well, okay, sure, it's slightly different. But Naruto appears to be crapping his pants still, to which I have to disagree. Come along, dear viewer. Allow me to explain. Being momentarily shocked and crapping your pants are 2 different things. In the manga, Naruto is momentarily shocked. Finding out that 9 enemy ninja are pursuing you after you originally thought it'd be smooth sailing is shocking. Naruto doesn't remain shocked very long though. After Pakun knows that enemy ninja are catching up and are guarding against an ambush, Naruto bravely, or stupidly, depending on your interpretation, decides if they're going to die anyway, they may as well ambush them since that would be their best chance at surviving. To conclude, manga Naruto is much more consistent. Moving forward with the anime, Pakun and Shikamaru come to the conclusion pulling off an ambush is impossible. Sakura and Naruto, being the NPCs in this scene, ask Shikamaru why that is. It's worth noting that manga Sakura comes off as less bot-like than anime Sakura. Sakura simply stating her confusion is much more than her saying this.
Wait, hold on. Why not? The level of an opponent doesn't have much to do with an ambush, does it?
There are several different arguments that could be made here, but given the circumstances, what she said was really dumb in practically every scenario. The level of the ninja most certainly matters since there are more of them, and Pakun already told them that there's one ninja trailing behind. 9 Genin deploying that tactic versus 9 Jonin are two completely different things. With that said, I'll go over what I think is the best case scenario for Team Pakun winning. To no one's surprise, it's going to involve Naruto and Shikamaru carrying the team. In all honesty, Pakun and Sakura wouldn't have to do anything but sit back and wait to jump in should plan A fail. Alright, I'm done with the preamble. It's evident that the Sound Ninja don't have a sensory ninja with them for the following reasons. 1. They are solely relying on the tracks left behind by Team Pakun to track them down. 2. Shikamaru could have never gotten the drop on them if they had a Jonin level sensory type. And 3. Asuma wouldn't have gotten the drop on them considering he entered the battlefield like a freight train. The enemy ninja not having a sensory type is crucial to this plan, so with that established, Operation One Tap is a go. Pakun and Shikamaru noted that because the enemy ninja are Orochimaru's henchmen, it's very likely that he gave them a detailed layout of the village. No matter how detailed of a map and description he gave them though, there's no way in hell the Sound Ninja know the absolute location of every rock and bush in Konoha, or even every rock and bush on the path that they are traveling on. That's relevant because it's something we saw Naruto do in one of the filler episodes. When visiting those star people, Naruto transformed into a rock to get the drop on his opponent. Naruto could do the same thing here using his multi-shadow clone jutsu. By transforming into rocks and bushes, Naruto could successfully disguise himself in order to obtain an advantageous position. They wouldn't be able to detect Naruto or Shikamaru, who would be nearby waiting to catch them all with his shadow paralysis jutsu. Now I'm gonna stop right here. I already know what some of you were thinking, but oh, and why would the enemy ninja all conveniently stand close enough for Shikamaru to shadow possess them all simultaneously? If you're one of the few people who asked that, good question. Considering earlier in the episode, the ninja never did that. At a singular time did they bundle together until it was time for Shikamaru to possess them. That there is plot convenience at its finest, but that's okay, because we can take advantage of it. After Shikamaru captures the 8 ninja with his shadow possession, Shikamaru can lay down on the ground with his eyes on the goon squad. Having the goons enter prone makes them highly susceptible to attacks for obvious reasons. After the goons prone, Naruto can reveal himself, or rather his clones, since after all there's no reason for the real Naruto to get involved here. Naruto can then sit on top of the goon's back with either a basic kunai or even better, a kunai with an explosive seal. I don't think the explosive seals can be easily shadow cloned, since Tobirama's tandem bomb seems to be an advanced jutsu. That won't be a problem though, since Naruto only needs one explosive seal to use against Gaara. Naruto could also just stab the ninja with a basic kunai. The explosive seal just ensures none of the ninja can slip away at the very last moment. After all, Shikamaru will have to time his release of the Shadow Possession Jutsu rather perfectly to ensure the ninja won't have a chance to hit the Shadow Clones off of their backs. That wasn't the most min-max strategy though, since there's another plan that involves Naruto making 40 Shadow Clones. This version of the plan is definitely the best, but it's not cool looking, nor does it have any stakes, which just makes for bad TV. Anyway, after Shikamaru captures the 8 ninja with his jutsu as he originally did, he can lay down prone similar to version A of the plan. Then Naruto can just waltz on out and create his 40 shadow clones. Most of the clones will be used to hold down the limbs of the ninja, while the remaining clones would prepare to insert a kunai into the skulls of the Sound Ninja. Shikamaru could then just hold his possession until the clones simultaneously launch their kunai downwards. I didn't forget about the 9th ninja by the way. He'd likely try to strike once Naruto's clones stockpiled on his allies. The problem here is, he would have too many targets and he wouldn't know where the real Naruto was, making Shikamaru the best target. He still wouldn't be able to do very much though, since Pakun could easily locate him, meaning Sakura could successfully defend Shikamaru for the few seconds it took for Shikamaru and Naruto to do their part of the plan. The group could then easily locate and gang up on the one ninja. I know he's a Jonin, but there simply isn't a way he'd be able to win or really do much damage to Team Pakun here. If you wanted to min-max the situation even harder, Pakun could direct Naruto to the 9th ninja while he's focused on trying to save his comrades from death. I doubt he'd notice Naruto sneaking up on him since he'd be so distracted, so Naruto could easily do him in within that time frame. And with that, Team Pakun could easily take out the Jonin. That wouldn't be without consequence though, since Naruto wouldn't arrive at the perfect time to save Sasuke. The only way Sasuke would survive my scenario is if Asuma sped ahead and saved him, since he wouldn't have to stop to save Shikamaru. Obviously, Asuma being there to face off against Gaara would present its own set of issues, but that wasn't the point of my battle scenario. The point was to show that Shikamaru and Pakun were wrong about an ambush being impossible. I could also go into a hypothetical scenario where Naruto could be the decoy, but that would ultimately get us nowhere story-wise unless Naruto took out the 9th Jonin using a crap ton of shadow clones and eventually Kurama. But that whole scenario would be a crap show to be honest, so it's not even worth it. For the next few minutes of the anime, Shikamaru explains that performing an ambush could still work, but given all the variables, isn't worth the risk. He then tells the group that a decoy would yield the best possible outcome. That's when Shikamaru notes that the decoy will most likely die. I much prefer the anime's depiction over the manga's here. The reason is that the manga doesn't capture the group's emotion as well as the anime does. When Shikamaru mentions the decoy will likely die, Naruto and Sakura have their initial reaction before slowly coming to terms with the gravity of the situation. Now that's all fine and dandy. However, the anime conveys the emotions of the characters much better. After Shikamaru says, "Die," the episode doesn't just continue like nothing of significance was just said. Shikamaru doesn't nonchalantly go, "So, any volunteers?" Instead, we see Naruto and Sakura's reaction, then the group immediately lands. Pakun isn't even shown since he is irrelevant to the crisis at hand. That leaves us with Naruto, Sakura, and Shikamaru, who all occupy different branches while also facing different directions. Each of the characters are looking down with the only audio being the blowing of the wind and some random bird noises. Not a single word is spoken for 37 seconds. The reason for that is, none of them wants to sentence the other to death. However, none of them wants to die. So they're at a bit of an impasse. The pacing that anime allows for, plus how Studio Pierrot utilized that advantage, makes for superior storytelling. With the depiction talk out of the way, Shikamaru volunteers as tribute since given everyone else's skill sets, he has the best possible chance of surviving. The group says their goodbyes before going their separate ways. After yet another Sound Ninja pursuit scene, Pakun detects the Sound Ninja are still gaining on them with no apparent loss in their speed. Sakura starts to question Shikamaru's integrity when Naruto tells Sakura this.
Look, I said he'd be okay and I meant it!
How do you know?
He's lazy and he's always complaining about everything, but he would never betray us!
I'm with Naruto on this one. It'd be a different scenario if Shikamaru were still lying on the floor and was asked if he wanted to participate instead of being voluntold. Ah yes, we finally made it. We're here, ladies and gentlemen. We've arrived at the most contrived part of the episode. 8 of the 9 ninja jump out of the trees into a perfect huddle. You'll love to see it. I don't get Shikamaru's opening dialogue. It makes sense from our perspective, but how on earth would it make sense from the Sound Ninjas? They don't know who he is. As far as we know, Kabuto only showed them Naruto's card. That doesn't stop Shikamaru from saying this though.
Oops, sorry. I was supposed to be the guy who didn't want to get involved, but I guess I'm not quite what you had expected, am I?
Like, what? Bro, what are you talking about? How would they possibly know you never wanted to be involved? Shikamaru is just talking to the audience at this point.
Why, he's just a kid. I can't believe we got caught by this.
Don't worry, Sound Goons. Konoha Zanbu also would have gotten caught by that. It's proven that the Sound Goons did receive sufficient training before executing this assault, since they recognize Shikamaru's jutsu and know how it works. They call it the wrong name though, so naturally Shikamaru calls the guy a boomer before devising a plan to reveal the location of the 9th ninja. There's no way the 9th ninja would sit back and watch his comrades die, so naturally Shikamaru throws some kunai and shuriken at the Sound Ninja. Sure enough, the 9th ninja deflected them with his own kunai. In the grand scheme of things, that didn't really accomplish anything though, since Shikamaru was going to run out of chakra and die anyway. But at least Shikamaru remained in character. So this is pretty interesting to me. You often don't hear characters differentiate between stamina and chakra, but Shikamaru does so here.
Oh man, the shadow won't reach. I don't have enough stamina to use my chakra to make it go that far.
So it sounds like to me Shikamaru has the chakra to complete the task, but he doesn't have enough stamina or willpower, if you will, to control his chakra correctly. Just thought I'd point that out. After realizing the end is nigh, Shikamaru starts thinking about the simple life he wanted. The anime and manga are practically verbatim, so I'll just show the manga. I think a lot of us can relate to Shikamaru here. When mapping out your future for the first time, an average life tends to sound appealing. Then you live life a little and then you come to realize that it's either A, no longer obtainable, or B, no longer desirable. Personally, I'm the latter of the two. Shikamaru finally becomes too exhausted to sustain his hold on the Sound Ninja and is forced to release his jutsu. After doing so, The head sound ninja orders the hit ninja to cut off Shikamaru's head. Moments before Shikamaru is slain, Asuma appears and intercepts the ninth ninja. Naturally, the head sound ninja recognizes that Asuma is a named character, so he starts grabbing his pants. Asuma discards the ninja in his hand, then promptly doodle-bops the remaining sound ninja. Upon realizing he's still going to be a father someday, Shikamaru lets out a big sigh. We're then taken to Temari and Kankura running like hell since Sasuke is dead set on finishing his kill. Nothing else of significance happens, so that brings us to the end of the episode. If you enjoyed this video of Overanalyzing Naruto, be sure to like the video to help this video reach more people and subscribe so you can be updated when future episodes are released. Deuces.